After 199 days in space,
Endeavour,
the
SpaceX's
longest
go for the
duration
orbit
mission
entry
for a
landing.
U.S. spacecraft, Dragon and the Crew 2 astronauts, Shane Kimbrough, Megan MacArthur, Akihiko Hoshide, and Thomas Pesquet, returned to Earth. Splashing down off the coast of Pensacola, Florida at 10:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 8th. Dragon and the Crew 2 astronauts were quickly recovered by the SpaceX recovery team. SpaceX will transport Dragon back to Cape Canaveral, Florida for inspections and refurbishment ahead of future human spaceflight missions. This mission marked multiple firsts for SpaceX and NASA's Commercial Crew program, including being the first to fly 2 international partners. The first crew mission to use a flight-proven Dragon and Falcon 9, and the first U.S. spacecraft to spend 199 consecutive days in orbit.
The Crew 2 astronauts confirmed that, and so again, marching towards the 7:33 p.m. Pacific time splashdown, 10:33 p.m. Eastern time. Things continue to go great here, Gary. Yeah.
That's a significant milestone, Andy, because what it means is we are now really, the teams are ready to commit to the next couple of dynamic activities. A lot is going to happen once we get past 6 p.m. Pacific time. 6:09 p.m. Pacific, we're looking at the departure phase burn. Right now, we're pretty much co-elliptic with the International Space Station. That phase burn will turn us into a phasing that points us right towards the prime landing site, which we just heard that we're go for, which is off the coast of Pensacola, Florida. That's a 42-second burn, and it puts us really in line with that. It's not too long after that where we'll see the Dragon slew for claw separation and trunk separation. The trunk will go off into the distance and burn up in the atmosphere. In the meantime, the Dragon will reorient itself, putting the heat shield right towards the atmosphere of the Earth, where it will do the bulk of the work of slowing the vehicle down from 17,500 miles per hour to 350 miles per hour. That, of course, in order to get to that point, we need to conduct a 16.5-minute deorbit burn, and that really is what commits us to landing off the coast of Pensacola, Florida. Even at this point, about to return crew from the International Space Station aboard Crew Dragon Endeavour for the second time.
And here's a great picture. We aren't able to really see their faces with the views that we currently have, but from left to right, Thomas Pesquet of the European Space Agency, we have, he is the mission specialist, whether we are preparing for liftoff or landing, and it's just to make sure that we orient the astronauts in the most comfortable position, the safest position for those different parts of the mission, and the folks here on the ground at Earth.
From this moment in time, about a minute left in the anticipated period. Again, it's not an exact science. There might be some variation. We might hear from them early. We might hear from them late. It just depends on a couple of different factors. But we're all eagerly at the edge of our seats right now, just standing by, waiting to hear from the crew. So far, things looking good. And we'll continue to track it as we enter the final moments of this blackout period. We're getting WB views, the first views of Crew Dragon. Look at that tail. That's the 3,500 degrees.
Yes.
Look for the hot thing, right?
It is the hottest thing in the sky right now. That is such a, it's literally lighting up the
Endeavour,
sky.
SpaceX, come check.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And Dragon, we've got you. Expect automated parachute deployment, and we have you on visual.
But the teams are tracking that as a nominal inflation rate, and the descent rate is as expected. We do have 4 healthy mains, and we are expecting an on-time splashdown.
600 meters.
We copy 6.
So 600 meters. This is a better shot of those 4 healthy main parachutes attached to the Dragon spacecraft Endeavour as it continues to descend.
400 meters.
The rate is as expected, 400 meters from splashdown. $300 meters.
200 meters braced.
We copy 200 embracing.
Standing by for confirmation of splashdown.
Splashdown.
SpaceX C splashdown and mains release.
Copy, we heard the mains.
Endeavour, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home to planet Earth.
Hey, Chris, it's great to be back to planet Earth. Thanks to the NASA and JAXA teams. It was an honor to represent you and work with your family. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:33 p.m. Pacific, 10:33 p.m.
The boat is backing up towards the Dragon capsule. You can see it in the background there, and it'll hook up all of its lines to the rigging equipment that the rigger is currently attaching on the spacecraft, and we'll hoist it up and get it on top of the recovery vessel.
We are not too far away from the Dragon spacecraft. It's right off of the aft end of the recovery vessel itself. So right as expected, it was expected to be a 30-minute transit.
SpaceX, I'm back with you.
Yeah, about a 30-minute transit,
Copy,
and they got there in 20.
I think a big part of this is you look at the seas right.
And SpaceX, brace for capsule lift.
Copy, brace.
There he goes, as expected, jumped into the water. His job complete, attaching the all of the connection points to Crew Dragon Endeavour, making sure that it is stable as the A-frame itself, using hydraulic lifts, hoists Crew Dragon Endeavour out of the water onto that circular frame there you see at the base of the ship. That is the Dragon nest.
And Garrett, we are we're slightly ahead of schedule. We were expecting Dragon lift to begin at L plus 38 minutes. It is L plus 30 minutes now. So things continuing to go smoothly as part of Crew 2's return and recovery.
Seem to get better and more efficient with each mission.
Dragon, welcome aboard the recovery vessel. Personnel are completing final checks. Stand by for translation to the egress platform.
Copy, glad to be aboard. Ready for translation.
All right, with that, we have confirmation that Crew Dragon Endeavour is on the Dragon nest. It has been hoisted from the Gulf of Mexico and put onto the recovery ship. Where you saw the Dragon be gently placed is called the Dragon nest. That whole section of the ship will be translated or moved in further into Dragon Endeavour. You can see stationed over to the left there is a stretcher, part of the nominal procedure. Once they are egressed from the vehicle, they'll be put into the stretcher and taken over to medical facilities. This is a standard precaution that's been exercised for each of the crew recovery missions so far. First crew member being egressed from Crew Dragon Endeavour. Got to witness some applause there from some of the recovery personnel as well. It's hard to tell which crew member that was. And we got confirmation that was Megan MacArthur. That was the pilot of the Crew 2 mission, the first crew member egressed from inside Crew Dragon Endeavour. Next out is Commander Shane Kimbrough. outside of Crew Dragon Endeavour, being translated over to the stretcher per nominal procedure. Waves, smiles on his face. A fantastic journey. 199 days in space, splashing down on time.
And here comes the third member to egress the capsule. This is Aki Hoshide. Some fist bumps and smiles from Aki. Again, after 199 days in space, returns to Earth.
All crew members flashing the peace sign for Crew 2. I love it.
And that leaves one more member inside of Dragon. That is Thomas Pesquet of the European Space Agency. And here comes Thomas.
That's the ESA doc on board, checking in with Thomas Pesquet. There you go. Everybody flashing the crew to.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes.
Fist bumps, high fives.
High fives for posterity. So that is all.
The Space Center in Florida. After a successful liftoff and separation from Falcon 9, Shane, Megan, Aki, and Thomas made a 24-hour flight on board Dragon to the International Space Station. Since